Hello guys, welcome back to the series Learn from the Legends. We're going to look at the game which was played between Anatoly Karpov and Kiril Georgiev, one of very strong grandmasters at the time. This game was played in 1994 in Nederland in Tilburg, and I believe it was round 5. I'm going to show you this game because it's, for me, one of the best Karpov games, which really inspired me. The ending is very beautiful. I hope you guys will enjoy it too. So, and if you're enjoying in my chess content, now it's the time. You can hit that button. I'm going to make and produce more chess videos for you guys. So stay in touch. And now let's get to the game. Karpov had the white pieces and started the game with d4. Georgiev responded knight to f6. c4 we have e6, trying to go for the Nc3 Indian defense, but Karpov avoided with knight to f3, and we have d5. So we got the queen's gambit declined is on the board, and we have knight to c3, bishop to e7, standard stuff, bishop to g5, and immediately, not castling, we have challenging the bishop, h6, and bishop goes back to h4, and now castles. Castles, e3, standard stuff, making strengthening the d4 pawn, and we have an interesting line which is called the Tartakower defense. In the queen's gambit declined, when black develops a bishop on b7 square, and now we have bishop to e2. Here the most played move is bishop to d3, but this move is pretty solid, and now we have bishop b7, and a very interesting move. Here in this position, the most played move is castle or rook from a to c1, but here Karpov had a different idea, and he took the knight with the bishop. Bishop takes, and now a trade in the center. C takes d5, and here I'm going to show you what happens, because maybe one of you guys thinks that you can take with the bishop, but it's not so good. This is not a good move with the black pieces, because you're giving up your strong light square bishop. And now knight takes the bishop. The better option is to take with the pawn, but I'm going to show you, if you don't want to make an isolated pawn, you can take with the queen. But now here white has an amazing move in 92. And now if black is careless, and if he wants to go after the pawn and the rook, let's say maybe some of you guys thought, let's grab the rook. This is a big mistake. Do you see why? How can white punish this move? What do you play here? It's bishop to f3, and black is lost. You need to move the queen, and if you move the queen, you take the rook, and this is completely winning for the player with the white pieces. So you need to be very careful. Let me go all the way back. Karpov took the pawn, and we have e takes on d5, and now we have b4. The idea behind b4 move is to stop expansion on the queen side with c5, and now Georgiev played c6, then we have castles. Queen to d6, and queen to b3. A very nice move. Knight to d7, developing the knight, maybe preparing rooks to C and D file and then executing C5. And we have rook from F to E1 and bishop back to E7, putting some more pressure on the B4 pawn. And we have rook from A to B1 defending the pawn. A5, attacking the pawn. And here Karpov took on A5. Rook takes. And we have A4, stopping any B5 ideas for now. Rook E8 and bishop back to F1. Bishop to F8. And we have queen to C2. G6. And now you need to strike in the center with the white pieces. So E4. Karpov played E4. A very nice move. The threat is to play E5, close the long diagonal and get more space. So in this position, Georgiev took on E4. Knight takes on E4. And we have queen to F4. A nice move, attacking E4 knight twice with the rook and the queen, and if you get that C5 in, you're going to have a third attacker on the knight. So you need to be careful. Here Karpov played bishop to C4, nicely putting the bishop on the long diagonal towards the black king. And here we have this move looks pretty natural, but here we have bishop to G7, which is a slight mistake. And now I'm going to show you here what Georgiev should have played. Here, the best continuation for black is to play C5. You need to strike in the center and open your light square bishop. And here we would see something like D5, closing, queen to F5, pinning the knight, knight to H4, attacks the queen, and queen to A5, attacks the knight. Knight goes back to F3, and queen to F5. Rook from B to D1, defending the pawn, and bishop to A6. H3, and now we have a trade of the bishops. Bishop takes, queen takes, the knight is no longer pinned, so some good stuff. And we have rook from E to A8, doubling the rooks, putting pressure on the A4 pawn, and knight to C3, defending the pawn. Nicely played. Bishop G7, trying to get rid of the defender of the A4 square. And we have rook to E7, a very nice move. And now bishop takes the knight, queen takes the bishop, and rook takes the pawn. And D6. Queen to F6, trying to trade the queens. And a very nice move, queen to D2. The threat is to take the knight with the rook, so you need to defend the knight. And another threat is to take the pawn, and we would see something like knight to F8. Knight to F8. And the best move here would be to play queen D5, not taking the pawn. And now, if you look at this position, it's the same. You need to. White has got the passed pawn, only 2 squares from promotion, and black has got 2 passed pawns. But here in this position, I would choose white every time. I think white has got more natural moves to play. Knight can come here to E5, to C6, and there is a lot of pressure on the black king. But let we go back. Here Georgiev played bishop to g7, and it was an inaccuracy for Karpov. Here I'm going to show you how quickly can things go wrong for black if you play knight h4. Can you take this knight? This knight is free. Why do you play knight h4? What's the threat? Let's say black is careless and he takes the knight. Do you see the winning move, the winning idea? Bishop takes f7, king takes f7, and now do you see the square? Knight d6 check. And now the king cannot go on the e file, so we need to go back. King goes to g8, and now rook takes rook. King hides on h7, and you take the bishop. And you're losing this game. You lost a piece that's completely winning for white. It's pointless to play on. So Karpov didn't punish this. This move, knight to h4, would be very nice. And here Georgiev tried striking the center with c5, which is a very nice move. And we have d5, closing the center. Rook from a to a8, getting the rook back in the defense. And the rook from b to e1, putting a lot of pressure on the e file, and the rook from a to d8. We have queen to b3, nicely eyeing that f7 square and that black king, and bishop goes back to a8. We have g3 attacking the queen, and queen goes back to b8 in the defense. So if you can see, all of black pieces went backwards. So very nice, aggressive playing style by Karpov. We have d6, and now the one last mistake here. Georgiev should have tried knight to e5, and we would see something like knight takes, rook takes knight, bishop f7. Here Karpov would be up a pawn, but he would still play on, and we would see something like queen to c2. This would, Georgiev would still play on. This would be the best defensive resource that black has, but unfortunately that didn't happen, and here the last nail in the coffin was rook to f8. And now I'm going to ask you to pause the video, and you have the white pieces. What would you play in this position? Try to punish this slight mistake by your opponent. It's all about the f7 square. So if you found the winning idea, you need to sack the bishop. Rook takes the bishop, and now the point about sacking the bishop is to sack a knight. Knight from e to g8, you sack a knight. H takes on g5, and another knight comes to g5 square. So here we have a lot of pressure on the black king, and we have a rook to f8 defending, and the beautiful move by Karpov, rook e8. And here in this position, if any of you guys thought about taking the rook, you're getting destroyed. Queen takes the rook on f7, king hides on h8, and now you take the rook with check. Queen needs to take, and you take the queen with check. You need to block, with the knight, but you lose also a bishop. The knight is pinned, so promotion is coming. You're getting destroyed very quickly, so that doesn't work. And another line is the best line here, which I checked, is to take one rook with a queen, but that doesn't work either because rook from e takes on e8, and now we have not taking the rook. You need to play knight e5, and we would see something like rook takes on f8, bishop takes, and queen goes to e6. We have bishop takes on d6, and queen takes on d6, and knight f3 check, knight takes, bishop takes, and queen takes on g6 with check, king f6. Black would have a rook and bishop for the queen, but this is completely winning for the player with the white pieces. You just need to watch out that you don't get checkmated, because this bishop nicely controls the light square, and if you can get the rook down, you can get checkmated. But a player like Karpov would have won this very easily. So if you go back in the position when rook to e8 was played, here Georgiev tried queen takes on d6, and now one last time you are Anatoly Karpov try to finish the game in style. This is a brilliant move. Try to find it. And comment in the comments down below, what would you play in this position? Try to find the best move. This move is very beautiful. If you found the move with the queen, I'm sure you found it. You take the rook with the queen. The rook cannot take the queen because it's pinned, because it's check. So here Georgiev played into h8, and one last move, knight e6, threatening checkmate. And in this position, he also resigned the game because it's all over. You can't take the queen. Checkmate is being threatened on g7 square. Here he would have to give up the queen. Queen takes knight, and now rook from one takes the queen, and you can take the queen. You're getting checkmate very quick. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching the game. It all came down to this mistake. This was the last mistake Kiril made, and it produced one of the most beautiful Anatoly Karpov games, in my opinion. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to make more Grandmaster analyzed games on my series Learn from the Legends. So we'll see you soon, and enjoy. Goodbye.